I took a side jaunt from the other project I was working on because I realized I kept building 5 volt and 3.3 volt power supplies, and ended up always hooking them up and trying to figure out how much current and power that the system that I was building was using. So I decided to build a power supply that had the fixed 5 volt and the fixed 3.3 volt output channels, but also measure the current and calculate the power. So I kind of cheated. I didn't spin a board. I have pictures that I took that show that I used just a bunch of perf board and stuff and an Arduino Nano. So when you turn it on, measures channel 1, which is the 5 volt channel, and channel 2, which is the 3.3 volt channel. And it measures current and calculates power. So I have on channel 1, I have an STM 407, a disco board, hooked up with a power supply, little power supply I built before building this to power that. And I've got a little LED array hooked up on channel 2. So when I turn on channel 1, you notice that the disco board is running code and it's blinking LEDs. Got 0.024 of an amp and 0.121 of a watt. And if I turn on channel 2, I get 0.039 amps and then 0.131 watts. And the channel 1 is flicking back and forth once in a while to 0 because the board is powering all the LEDs and stuff off. It's not very high power. But as you can see here, both channels are measuring the same time. I also have a mode button, so I could press the mode, and what I can do is I can see the sum of the current and the sum of the power as it's running. Another thing that I have is if I wanted to see what the maximum current draw and the maximum power is, I could see the maximum current draw and power for each channel as well. These are the current 3 modes. Maybe if I can find something more useful, I'll add another mode. But the maximum mode actually stays when I turn the channels off. It actually stays and keeps telling me. So you have to reset power on the power supply right now in order to reset the maximums. But when I press it for normal mode, since everything's turned off, it's zeroed out, and so is the sum because there's nothing being drawn. But again, maximum mode keeps the max values of the measurement, and then when I turn it back on, maximum mode is zeroed out again. Now I don't know, I don't want to do too much more to it simply because I don't want to spend too much time. I've already spent probably about a week. Probably about a week hooking this all up, and like I said, there's pictures and everything that I'm going to put on a blog post, and you probably got to this from there. So, and there's also a fuse in the back here as well as a main power button. So yep, that's it.